Now to the Danish capital, Copenhagen. A gunman there has killed 3 people and seriously wounded several more. Witnesses describe seeing a man armed with a rifle shooting at panicked shoppers in a busy mall. Police say they've arrested a 22-year-old Danish man with a history of mental illness. They say it was not a terrorist attack.
A frantic dash to safety. What started as a Sunday shopping outing for many turned into a nightmare after a gunman opened fire in the busy Fields Mall in the Danish capital.
Suddenly we heard shots. I think I heard 10 shots, and then we ran through the mall and ended up in a toilet where around 11 of us huddled together in this tiny space. It was really hot, and we waited, and we were so scared. It was a terrible experience.
Several people were killed or injured during the attack, which sparked a panicked stampede as people rushed to get out of harm's way. A 22-year-old suspect has been charged in connection with the killings. His motive is unclear.
There is nothing in our investigation, or the documents we have reviewed, or the things we have found, or the witness statements we have gotten that can substantiate that this is an act of terrorism.
Families of the survivors embrace their loved ones with palpable relief. Now the search for answers to this tragedy will begin.
Tom Kostensen is a journalist in the Danish capital, Copenhagen, and joins us now. Tom, the Danish police have just held a news conference about the shooting. What have we learned?
Yeah, we've learned, as you also actually said in this piece, that he has been known in the psychiatric system. He's not really known he wasn't on any crime watch list or terror watch list, and they seem to have ruled out terrorism completely now, that it's more of a mass shooting like we've seen in the States. There's a lot of videos around of him, and the police now confirm that they are actually videos of the suspect. It's been on Twitter since last night, but they are confirming it's him. I've seen some of the videos where he holds up guns, he plays some music, which is very violent and suicidal, basically. And the suspect has actually confirmed it was him on the scene. That's what the police said. And he, according to police, he had a rifle, a handgun, and a knife, all of which he has not obtained legally, even though there were talks of him being a member of a shooting club. That doesn't mean you can have guns at home. You have to be a member for a long time. And these were not obtained legally. So as legal weapons, a hunting rifle and a handgun and a knife.
So he has a history of mental illness, but has he said why he'd carried out these attacks?
He might have. The police haven't told us yet. They are letting him, basically what they said is he's going to be put in front of a judge where he can explain himself. So the police haven't actually given details as to what he has said to them yet. That will come out in the court later today at a still non-specific time. So no.
Okay. What can you tell us about the victims of the attack, Tom?
Yes, I can tell it's a 17-year-old Danish man, a 17-year-old Danish woman, and then it's a 47-year-old Russian national who lives in Denmark. That's what they've released so far. So 2 very young people and a middle-aged man.
Those are the dead. I understand there are a number of injured as well.
Yeah, there are 5, I think, who are in critical condition but stable. Last night it was still unknown whether they would all survive, but now they're stable, which is good news. And then there's a number of people with minor injuries. They haven't released a number on those, but 5 who are in critical condition, but they seem to have that under control now. So fingers crossed we won't have any more fatalities.
Well, the shooting must have come as quite a shock to those to people living in the Danish capital. How are people there dealing with it, Tom?
Well, it's obviously the shock is probably the best term, as you've seen in many videos. People are completely shocked, and people who weren't there are shocked, myself included. How do you deal with that? I don't know. It's going to take a while. I think luckily we're spared these things in Denmark most of the time. We've only had one other shooting like this about 7 years ago, but it's been a strange time. We've had a big Tour de France, had 3 three first laps here, etapa, what do you call that? Races in Denmark. So everything was happy, and it was a kind of a people's party. And then it turns to this just after they leave. So it's been from happy days to shock and horror. It's going to take a while for people to bounce back, I'm sure.
Tom, thank you very much for talking with us. That was Tom Carstensen, a journalist in the Danish capital, Copenhagen.